What's up, tubers? T.O. here, Simplistic Fishing, back at you tonight. I thought I was going to do a lake breakdown for you, but that's not happening because Trevor from Omnia Fishing just sent me an email just a couple days ago. And of course, I just got back home from work, but he was telling me 20% off site wide. It's an early Black Friday sale. So now is the time to go get some tackle, save you a ton of money. I figured, what the heck, if you're going to get 20% off, I might as well tell you what my top 5 baits are going to be for this winter. So we're going to talk about that. We'll also talk about that Omnia Fishing page, talk to you about all the benefits that it has, but also the 20% off. Let's go take advantage of it. Let's go. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. Let's jump over to the website, omniafishing.com. I'm going to jump in there. I'm going to tell you guys first off my top 5 winter baits. So these are going to be the top 5 baits I think you guys need to go out, check out right now, get the 20% off, take advantage of that, and hopefully put these things into some pretty good action coming this winter. And then just want to switch over, show you a couple different things that are out here, the ways to use the site, the way to find products, things like that. But also there's some gold mines in here that you can find that are absolutely free. So let's switch over to the website. Let's take a look at it. On Omnia Fishing. Again, it's omniafishing.com. You come out here, first off, just want to tell you guys about that code because that's the most important thing about this whole video is we're trying to save you some money here. So early Black Friday sale, it's 20% off across the entire site. There's obviously some exclusions out there, but use code EARLYBF when you do the checkout. The other thing that I wanted you guys to do, if you can for me, is make sure that when you go out to Omnia Fishing that you click the link in the description, and that lets them know that I sent them over your way. So let's take a look at this stuff really quick. We talked about top 5 baits for the winter time. It's pretty clear when that water gets below 55 degrees, things change. We got to do things a little bit different. So my number 1 bait, if we're just kind of putting them all together for top 5, number 1 is going to be the umbrella rig. So if you go out here into onto Omnia Fishing, you type in umbrella, start typing in umbrella, you'll notice they have a lot of different umbrella rigs out here, but you can also click on underneath techniques. You can go umbrella rigs here, and it will basically give you everything related to the umbrella rigs, whether it be the line that you can use, the reels you could use for this, the swim baits, all that stuff. But my favorite that's in here, as far as just the umbrella rig, or what you've heard people also call the Alabama rig, is going to be the Hog Farmer. Now, not this Minnesota one. It looks like it can only have maybe like 1 hook on it. Not sure what's going on with that one, but this one right here, the Hog Farmer 5-wire umbrella rig. So we click on this. You're going to see here there's 3 different options to choose from. You've got the 4-inch hitchhiker, which I don't really like that because I don't want to put anything up here. I'd rather just have blades up there. So I'm going to go with the 4 silver blades. I really like this one. It's got the really good willow blades there. And then I also didn't even know that was an option until we got Omnia Fishing, started using them, but they've got an 8 blade. So I really like the 8 blade as well. 3/4 ounce is great. 8 blade or 4 blade, that's going to be definitely a good way to go. So now we got to think about, well, what are we going to put on those things? Well, what I typically do on my A rigs, of course, in Texas, you can go with all 5 hooks. But what I do is on the top 2, so these top 2 right up in here, these 2 right there, I usually take those and I make those dummy rigs. So pretty much what I do is I'll take these little screw locks, or whatever you want to call them. We'll take those little screw things. I'll just put those on the ends up here and just screw my swim bait in. So it doesn't have a hook, but it definitely has a swim bait. And then on the bottom 2, I'll have a swim bait, and then I'll have a bigger one right in the middle. So typically what I'll do is I'll go 1/8 ounce on the outsides, and then I'll either go a 1/4 ounce or a 3/8 ounce on the middle. Now, sometimes you might want to go a little bit bigger. When it gets later on in the winter, you might want to jump up to maybe 1/4 ounce all the way around. 1/4 ounce, I guess, on the side, and then maybe a 1/2 ounce in the middle. You can do that. I like the lighter weight rig a little bit better. It's easier for me to throw, but you can definitely play around with it and see what you like. So that's how I would rig up the umbrella rig. Now, as far as the baits that I would put on it, there's 2 of them that I really, really like. to use. And one is going to be the Kitech Swing Impacts. So that's going to be these right here. Really like those. You know, you can go with the smaller one on top, and then you can go with the bigger ones, maybe a bigger one in the middle. So maybe you go with I don't know, don't even have the size here. You got 3 1/4 and 4 inch. So this one maybe doesn't hit it perfectly, but you could definitely go with the 4 inch or the 3 1/2 inch all the way around, and that would work. But I also like these spark shads. I don't know what it is about these things, but I like them. They last a long time. These Rage Swimmers work really good as well, but let me take you up here to these Mega Bass Spark Shads. Go up here. These are really, really good. So you could use these, maybe go with like 3s on the top, 4s on the side, and a 5 in the middle, something like that. Or you could match them all 3s all the way around and then put a 5 in the middle or put a 4 in the middle. The other thing you could do with these A-rigs is you can change the colors on them. So I like to keep the color pattern kind of the same, but especially in the wintertime, what you can do is you can have white on the outside. So you have all 4 on the outsides be white, and then go with more like a chartreuse color, this kind of color, or maybe this kind of color right in the middle. So something that just stands out a little bit more, because 9 times out of 10, when you get a bite on those A-rigs, they're going to hit the very middle one. It's almost like literally 90% of the time that's what's going to happen. Now, if they're competing for it, sometimes you'll get hit on the middle one first, but then the second one will hit the sides. But for the most part, most of your bites are going to come from the bigger swim bait that's right in the middle. All right, so that is going to be my number 1 wintertime bait. Definitely take advantage of these prices that are out there right now. All right, so number 2, you're going to think this is kind of weird, but I just have a certain type of crankbait that I like to use in the wintertime, and it's like the only crankbait that I can get to work really well for me, and that's going to be these Rapala OG Slims. So the OG Slim 6, I really like it. Its depth is, I believe, 0 to 6 foot. Yes, 0 to 6 foot. They've got lots of different colors out there. My favorite color when it's cold, and I'm not in the river, is basically going to be right in here is going to be what is this one called? I can't remember exactly. Green Gizzard Shad. So the Green Gizzard Shad, I really like that one. This one's produced pretty well for me too. It has a little bit of that orange on the bottom, so I really like that. That one's called the Root Beer Crawdad. And then when we get a little bit later on, so we get past December, get into January, and we get towards that tail end of January, there's 2 baits in here that are probably the only 2 baits that I'll be throwing. And that's going to be this one right up here, this Rapala OG Slim 6 Classic Crawl, and then also this red Crawdad. Those 2 right there will be magical come pre-spawn. All right, so that's number 2, the OG Slims. Going to work those OG Slims. They're silent. They don't make a lot of noise or anything like that. I'm probably going to work those a lot around riprap and things like that. That's going to be my number 2 thing. And then obviously if I'm up in the river, I'm going to be throwing that around trees, laydowns, all that kind of good stuff. The next one is going to be the drop shot. I mean, when you get into the wintertime, drop shots are they're drop shots. I mean, that's all there is to it. There's not much to the drop shot, but they are fish catching machines. So if I was going to do the drop shots, first thing I'd set up obviously would be my weights. So I do these drop shot weights. I don't really care if I have tungsten. I don't think it really matters. I like the 1/4 ounce and the 3/8 ounce weights. Those are my favorites. And then as far as the worms and the type of baits that I want to put on those, I'm going to go with the robo worms, definitely. My favorite robo worm is going to be the 6-inch straight tail worm that you can see right here. That's definitely my favorite one to use on the drop shot, hands down. And I really like this Morning Dawn is one of my favorites. And then this seems to be like fire right now. Not sure why, but the red crawler, I think there was another one. Yeah, that sunrise one is pretty good too, morning sunrise. So all 3 of those are just really, really good. Now, RoboWorm has some other good stuff out there as well. They have this Alive Shad that's out there too. So kind of interested to see, how that's going to work. I think that's going to work pretty good to use that. I would probably go with that color, or maybe even right here. This hologram shad looks really good too. That looks awesome for a drop shot. So RoboWorm is kind of where I stay when it comes to drop shot stuff. Typically just stick with the robo worms, the red worms, the Morning Dawns, and then sometimes you'll see me switch over to like a fluke or something like that. Now, as far as the hooks go on there, I always like to use those Aaron Martin hooks. They're definitely my favorite. They're right here, the Gamakatsu Finesse Aaron Martin hooks. Again, I'll put these links in there for you guys in the description, so that way you don't have to try to keep up with me here. But these are my favorite drop shot hooks. I like the number ones. They're a little small. The number twos are probably going to be my favorites, but ones will work, and I stay away from the 1-aught and 2-aught stuff. I stay pretty small in my drop shot stuff. All right, so that is 3 baits. We've covered the A-Rig, covered the OG Slims, we covered the drop shots. The next bait that would be my number 4 wintertime bait is going to be Mega Bass. I bet you can already guess what that is going to be, and that is going to be the Mega Bass Jerkbaits. So if we go in here to Jerkbaits, we can see all the different Mega Bass Jerkbaits that are out there. Quite a few to choose from. I've got my favorites, definitely the Mega Bass Vision 110. This FX one, I like that one. That one's definitely a favorite that I have out there. The +1 and the +2s are definitely good to have as well. So you want to kind of have a little bit of a variety. And then of course you have the juniors too. And I really like the juniors too. They're good as well. But the Vision 110, like the +2 right here, if we pull this up, this is going to get you pretty deep. Believe it says, that's recommended water clarity. It doesn't show me the depth this actually goes, but this is definitely going to be your deeper one. So you want to play around with it and kind of figure out your depths, but I say go in with a +1, a +2, and then maybe get you some juniors, get you some junior +1s and +2s, just kind of get you all the different varieties that you have out there. You can see there are all kinds of different varieties out here for you to choose from, and you can do pretty good. Now, another one that's out there that you don't hear a lot of people talk about, but it's definitely a very good one to use. This is going to be this Lucky Craft Stacy 90 SP. This is a classic jerkbait that people have caught fish on for years. So definitely want to go and take a look at that one. Try it out as well. See if you like that one. It's going to be a little bit more on the expensive side, but all jerkbaits are really expensive. So are those Mega Bass ones. They're ridiculously priced. So that is number 4, jerkbaits. So we got A-Rig, OG Slims, drop shots, jerkbaits, and the number 5 thing that I would use in the wintertime, and probably going to be the only 5 lures that I actually use, is going to be a jig. Now, the reason why I said it that way is because it used to be a football head jig. It was the Strike King football head jig, 3/4 ounce or 1/2 ounce. That was my go-to. Put that with the beaver trailer on there. That was my wintertime bait. But I came across these 6 Sense hybrid jigs, and ever since then, that has kind of been my go-to jig. I don't have to worry about what kind of jig I'm throwing. I just throw the 6 Sense hybrid jig, and no matter what I'm in, it seems to work. So I've really, really liked these jigs. I'm definitely a big fan of them. Just like the quality that they have out there, just really like them. So the 6 Sense hybrid jig, you're going to go with the 3/4 ounce or the 1/2 ounce. Best color to use is probably going to be your black and your blues, and then your green pumpkins, maybe something like this color looks pretty good. This grass mutant or this craw drone looks pretty good as well. You could probably even go in here with the peanut butter smoked jelly. That one's pretty good as well. Or you could even go with the black and purple. I mean, all these colors are good. The only one that I'd say to really stay away from is going to be, that one was white a minute ago. But if it was totally white, I'd say stay away from that. That's not really the colors we want to go with. But all these colors are very, very good. Now, the trailers that I use on those colors, typically what I'm going to do, like if it hasn't gotten really cold yet, I really like the Rage Bugs. So I'm going to type it in here so you guys can see what it looks like. But the Strike King Rage Bug, these really are kind of my go-to for anything. I use them for flipping, but I also love to use them on the back of my jigs. So I really like these Strike King Rage Bugs. But if the water starts to get a lot colder, so I'm talking like 55 or below, I'm going to pull off of using these Rage Bugs, and I'm really going to focus more on beaver baits. And it's the Reaction Innovation Sweet Beaver. That's probably going to be my favorite trailer when it comes to wintertime. And obviously you just want to kind of match it up, or you can play around with it really. So you could go with that black and purple and even put something crazy like this on the back of it, or you could match it up perfect. I'm more of a matcher upper. So if I had that black and purple jig we were looking at from 6 Sense that had that black and blue on it, I'm probably either going to go with this one, so I really like how it matches up, or I'm going to go more with the black and blue and match it up to the bottom side of that thing. So those are going to be my top 5 winter baits Again, quick reminder, use that code EARLYBF, and that's going to get you 20% off all these baits that we've been talking about today. Now, the last thing that I really wanted to show you guys before we get off here is really this site. The reason why I partnered with these guys is because this site gives us a lot more than just going out and shopping. Obviously, I want to be loyal to them and do my shopping here if they're helping us out. But I've talked to you guys a lot about those fishing reports and the different things that are out there. So you can come out here and you can go to lakes that you fish. You can select the lakes that you fish, set you up a little profile. And then when you do that, what you can do is you can come out here and you can actually see the different fishing reports and things for this lake, or even the baits and the techniques that are working for this lake based on what the ambassadors are putting out there, or just general feedback from the public. So if we go out here and we show Sea Lake Details, you come up here and it says, here's your top products for fall largemouth bass. This is what's working out there right now. This is what's been reported: 50% shallow diving crankbaits, 25% lipless, 25% shaky heads. You can go out here and see all the different products that are out there. And then if you want to see the actual fishing report, you can come up here and do the fishing reports. The fishing reports will break it down by spring, summer, and fall. I've got fall selected right now. And in this case, this is my home lake, so I do a lot of fishing reports out here now for these guys on Ray Hubbard. But I was out there on the 5th, and you can see here how the water temps are, how the bite was, everything that was going on. Now, it sounds like there might be a bite back in the river for those of you guys that know Ray Hubbard. So this one was 10:15. The water temperature's obviously dropped a lot since then, but I see from what I'm hearing, just local news, is the river bite is on right now. Definitely a place to go, and the waters came up enough to where I think you can get back there. It's a little hairy, but you can hopefully make it. All right, so sorry to get sidetracked there. So now let's talk about one more thing. So I talked to you guys about all of this stuff, right? You can see based on the fishing report, you can come down here, you can actually see videos to show you how to use those certain baits and use those techniques. They've got rods, line, different types of options for those baits, all kinds of good stuff. They really do make it pretty easy for you guys to find what you need. But the thing I like about it is they're trying to target us and market us to things that are actually going to work. So instead of trying to sell us a bunch of junk, because there's so much marketing out there in fishing now that if you go to the store, the eye candy overwhelms you and you buy a bunch of crap that you're not going to use. That's why I like this site, because it's like, here, buy this. This is what's working. This is what people have actually caught fish on. It's really going to help you. And obviously getting that discount's a pretty big deal too. So let's go back. One more thing to show you before we jump off here. If you're out here and you're new to fishing, or maybe you're not even new to fishing, you want to come out here and you want to look for certain baits or certain videos that are based on certain techniques. So let's say, for example, that you're fairly new to fishing and you've never even heard of what a Demiki rig is. So you want to see what a Demiki rig is. Well, if you just click on Demiki rig, it's going to break it down, give you a short description of what the Demiki rig is. And then it's going to give you all types of different lure options and setups to help you do that. And then, of course, if you get further down into it, you can come down here and you can see different articles, videos, things like that on using that Demiki rig. So it's really, really helpful. I mean, if I go back in, let's say that I want to go in and maybe I want to learn how to vertical jig at mid depth. Well, I can definitely do that. I can come in here. It'll tell me how to do it. It'll give me videos on how to do it. It'll tell me all the products that I need, how to do it, pretty much all the articles, everything that we need. So it's definitely something that's going to come in handy. The other thing that I think is cool is that this site, really, it's based in Minnesota, so it's kind of northern focused. So I think it's going to be really helpful for us that are down here in the South, really starting to take advantage of their site as well, to learn from them, and they can learn from us. I mean, we obviously do things a lot different, but I think there's styles in here that I've been looking at and kind of researching. I'm like, man, there's all kinds of new stuff that I never even thought about, things they're doing up north that we're not doing down here, down south, and vice versa. So anyways, I wanted to bring that up. Hopefully you guys are taking advantage of Omnia Fishing. They've got a great site. It's a great partnership. You can also do that premium membership. Once you do that, you can get free shipping. It's super fast. So I just have nothing but good things to say about Omnia Fishing. So make sure, go out and check them out. Use the code EARLYBF. That's going to get you 20% off everything we talked about today. I'll put the links down in the description. Make sure to check them out. Until next time, guys, I hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.